Maybe I said. I didn't say. And we're live. Alright, we'll try and make this more structured in the future when I have the time to go out and shoot. Actually, I do have the time. The only problem is the weather. It's so hot that I can't go out and shoot. But definitely something that I'm working on. We'll wait a little bit just for everyone to pop in. And let's see the chat. Hi. How's it going, everyone? Hello, Mario. Walter. Thank you, Jonathan. Really appreciate it, buddy. Let me just announce this on Instagram as well, so everyone just joins up. Again, like I said, this is not really much of a structure going live. Moving onwards, I need to work on structuring these live hangouts or live video. Hi. Tawisak, right? T.S. Tawisak. Sarah, hi. How you doing? All right, let me just post this. All right, for those of you who are out there, you're missing out on the YouTube live. Go to my channel and join in. Let me know if you have any questions. All right. For those of you who are out there you go. Cool. Hi, how's it going, everyone? That's me your live video. Yeah, thank you, Roman and Wendell's. How are you? How is that part of the world? Of course, we're. I'm going to start getting a lot of notifications. I've got my laptop to the left, and I got this on the right. But yes, please bring in your questions. Let me know what do you have in mind. Of course, Sarah, go ahead. We'll start with you. Yeah, needs a bit of structure. And I'm waiting. All right, and that's fine. Where is that? No. Let's do that again. By the way, I have a tutorial on how I shot this with light painting. You gotta check it out on my YouTube channel. Light painting interiors. Oh god, this is going to be a headache. Yeah, I gotta do it this way. Like so. Hey, there you go. All right, I'm ready to take your questions. I don't think so, no, but maybe. Sorry about that. You might want to break it down, like chunks. All right, rolling shots from a low viewpoint. How can you get these shots in a safe way? So try to shoot. Yeah, around 60 to 70 and sometimes 80, but I do go below 100th of a second. I think the lowest I went was 100, well, actually 1/30. They're 1/30th of a second. In terms of how safe, I mean, I've seen people dangling out of their cars, which is not safe at all. There is an idea in mind. I don't know if you So, I wanted to try this. This is a stabilizer that you can invert this way. And instead of dangling out of the car, you can dangle this out of the car. It stabilizes the camera. Connect the camera with your app or a remote trigger and start shooting. This is one way. I haven't tried it yet, to be honest. I don't know how good it is. I'm assuming it's really good since it's a stabilizer. The other way, they have the follow car or cart. Sometimes it's just an attachment to a car that is very low, and they hang out of it. Of course, a lot of safety measures into this, but not everyone has an access to this. The way I did it with the Audi and the what was it, Jaguar shoots, I hanged out. Well, not really. I was at the back of the SUV. An SUV. It was an SQ5. So I was able to open up the trunk in the back, get as low. Of course, I had the seat belts were strapping me in. You need some sort of strappers in terms of safety, but that's as far as that it goes in terms of getting low shots. But I've seen people dangling out of their cars or friends' cars, and again, that can be very risky. All right, on polarizers. Yeah, a good way to do that is actually, it's very, very hard. You need to make sure you have a really good tripod. You need to make sure that the head is locked into place. The movement of the polarizing should be very minimal. You'll always get that nudge, right? It's going to move just a bit, but as long as you keep the tripod steady, the head locked in position, you'll get a bit of movement. And it's very important once you import everything into Photoshop, you need to align the layers. There is a feature in Photoshop that I use all the time, the auto align layers, and it works for me. It never it never failed. So try that, auto aligning layers. Every time you have multiple CPL shots, do that first. Hi, I have nothing in mind, unfortunately. I just wanted to see if you guys have any questions and then refer to the shoots to answer that. In the future is going to be more structured, I promise. Mario, unfortunately, this is not an Instagram kind of review because it's gonna take a lot of time, and then I'll have to jump back and forth and do it for everyone. But I like the way this is going. Maybe I should do one session, which I just check out Instagram accounts, but maybe not live. Ask you to submit, and then maybe review it. But again, time. 1/60th is safe. That's correct. Like I said, I went down to 1/30th. If you put on I don't know about the cameras that you have, but on continuous shooting, I think mine get like 10 per second so far, the A7 III. So the more photos you get, you've got more chances of getting the shot that you want. Presets. I don't use presets, honestly. I think every photo is unique. Presets are a good way to start your grading with, though. There are many people out there got lots of presets. You got Peter McKinnon presets, Pepper Yandel's presets. A lot of presets available that will give you a good starting point depending on your, of course, grade. There are presets were meant for warm photos or warm shots. Presets are meant for colder shots. Yeah. Canon crop sensor. That is very challenging because I never shot with the crop sensor when I actually got into automotive photography. I'll tell you my point of view. My car keys. All right, guys. What you doing there? Just give me a minute. There you go. شنو صار؟ انت طلعت. نفس الشيء. لا بس خذي فيك طعم الفرجة. Sorry about that. I'm blocking someone's way. Yeah, where were we? Cropped camera sensors. The lens that I use is the 24-105. Where is it? Where is it? It's always here. Yes. Maybe something closer to this. Which system are you using? Canon, perhaps, or Nikon? So 24 multiplied by 1.6 is what? 40 something. In full frame, I found that a good focal length is between 30 and 80. If you find something within that range, in terms of zoom lens, then that would be okay. Mine is the 24-105. I have a really good wide shot, and then 24 is about what, 18 perhaps when it comes to the crop sensor, 18 mm. So 24-105, I get like a wide range. I got a full kind of zoomed in range. But I'm not familiar, unfortunately, with Canon crop sensor. I used to use, when I had the Canon, but back then I was doing video, I had the 18-105. I think it's a good lens to start with, at least. If you put the 24-105 on a crop sensor, it will still work, but the focal length will be different. Tips for moving shots, like rolling shots. Where is it? LMS. Flagged rated. Please let me know if these. You mean something like that, right? Hey, Jason. Sorry, this one is loading. So let it load. Meanwhile, YouTube. Looking at my feed, then my channel. All right, so I have a video right where? I believe here. Yeah. So for moving shots, let me just copy this. Copy link address. Where's the chat? Oh God, I hate that happen. Oh, what am I doing? There you go. And paste. There you go. Check this video out. I explain everything about rolling shots and moving shots. Producing more in-depth roller shots tutorial. What is it exactly that you guys find challenging in terms of rolling shots? Hey, Willie. What's up, buddy? Any tips on how to make a good website, Robs? All right. So, let me know what you want to know about rolling shots. I might do something. Well, I mean, the platform that I'm using is WordPress, really, and I do have a web development background as well. It makes it easier for me to do all of that. But if you're not a web designer, it can be really challenging. And hang on, let me just remove Dr. Berg. can be challenging. So the way I would do it is with these new like Wix and the other one. What was it? What was the other Wix versus Squarespace? There you go. So Squarespace is one of them. I checked them out before, and then you've got Wix. There's another free website builder. So basically, they are a drag and drop website builders. You don't have to have any background in coding. You just need to have a good taste. And again, if you are not a designer and you don't know how things work, there have templates that you can start with, or you can look at other sites that you think they're cool. You want to have something similar to it. You can always drag and drop elements. And yeah, that should work. Like they have a category here about photography. There you go. So these are all photography sites. Let's just preview one. And there you go. That's the preview. And this is like very basic and straightforward. They have more as well. And you can preview the devices here, how it's going to look on tablets, how it's going to look in mobile phones. And definitely, if you're not a web developer or web designer, you would want to do something like that. If you know how to install WordPress and you know how to install WordPress, get a domain and hosting and everything. What is it? Uncode. So this is the theme that I'm using. I've customized it to the way I want my website to look like. But of course, that sits on top a platform called WordPress. But for WordPress, you need to know how to set up domains, get some hosting, and stuff like that. So let's have a look at this, for example. I've used this theme to build one of my friend's website. It's very easy for me at least, but I'm not sure how with that. So this is my friend's website. It's not done yet. And I based it on this. So see, you can customize it just the way you want. So for example, I have a trailer, the area, scrolling down, you know, the facility. These are the content that he gave me, and I played around with. And these are just like dummy. Still not done yet. I'm waiting for some content from his end. So yeah, these are the way that you can create a good website. And like I said, you've got Wix, which is another one. Honestly, I did not interact. It's the same thing, drag and drop, and so on and forth. All right, where's that window? Do you know any apps that I could use for Nikon? Jonathan, no, unfortunately. I use Sony's. So Sony ships with an app, and I believe most of the new cameras does, that you can trigger with wireless connectivity. So I connect, I think, with a Wi-Fi, and then snapshot. On top of that, it triggers the camera, and it sends a photo to my phone that I can actually, look at it and check it out. But I'm not aware of any other. I think Manfrotto. Was it Manfrotto? All right, I might. Manfrotto Manager. No, I think that's something else. I can't recall the name of it. Assistant? No. Remote trigger? No. Something that has to do with the iPad, that you connect the iPad. I think, the digital director. Camera remote for iPad. There you go. I told you there was something about Manfrotto. But of course, I don't know how much that costs. There you go. Check this one out. Maybe you might find something cheaper and similar to this. There you go. Um, People hire me for my style, or each brand asks for a specific thing. Most of them, they do hire me and tell me they do have a brief, but they don't restrict me, because every brand has its own, of course, brand guidelines and the way they want to shoot the cars. Sometimes if it's just for social media posts, that's fine. You can go crazy with it. But if it's something for a brochure or a above the line ADL, out of home, or whatever they want to call it, like things on the lamppost that you would see outside, that most probably strict. I don't know if that's a word. How do I attract clients? Hmm. I don't know what to tell you. Like I say, you need to build up your brand, your identity. You need to brand yourself. You need to put your work out there. You need to have a website, a good Instagram account that you can showcase your work. Sometimes you need to do the outreach first. Reach out to dealers, show them your work, tell them that you can create content for them, guys. 2018, 2019, moving forward, everyone want to create. It's not the same like it used to be, right? You have a new medium. You've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, and all of these platforms, and they want more material, more content for their channels. So getting that chance to get hired, it will be higher, and of course they can't afford every time hiring someone who's very expensive as well. There is an opportunity there, but your photos has to look really good, at least. All right, so I don't have presets. I mean, I had one before. I do have presets? No, I don't. No, I don't have presets, sorry. I don't use presets. I mean, I used to when I first started photography. I do have LUTs, which is something closer to presets um, in Photoshop. So LUTs. Yeah, this is the one, but I'm looking for my website. Okay, let me just go to my website. And if you come down here and you scroll down somewhere around this, there'll be like a couple of LUTs that you can download. You can watch the video just to understand how LUT works and how I am applying it. Cool. Oh. Okay, I never activated that yet. All right. Next. You're welcome, Sarah. Hey, Andre. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a great fan. Slingshot app. All right, let's see that. I think that's one of the triggers, maybe. I don't know what slingshot app. My slingshot app. All right, sorry, not this one. My slingshot on the app store. Maybe it's a. Okay, I don't know. I can see something about photography here, maybe. But maybe it could be a trigger one, right? What is a slingshot? Slingshot app, Michael. What do you think about an in-depth tutorial like setups you did with multiple exposures? where to place light, etc. What modifiers you like using? Yeah, I think I do have. Well, I mean, I don't know how in depth you guys want the tutorials, but you know, I try not to pass the 10, 12 minutes on YouTube. Otherwise, people just get bored watching technical stuff. Let me see. I mean, this is the P1, and I think I've showed that example before. We were limited with the space that we had, so it's gonna take some time for it to load. So let me just go directly to the source or the final photo. These are multiple shots and then combined into one. Let it load, let it load. Do you use apps to get location at the right time, sun position? I do have an app that I'm using. I keep forgetting the name of it. I think I showed you guys once. It's called Photo Pills. Let me type it in. Photo Pills. Let me show it to you here. Pills. So yeah, you get to know everything about the sky. So whether stars, sun location, moon location, all of that, all in this app. And there's one nice thing about it is the depth of field calculator. It will tell you what f-stop that you would require when you're shooting a subject. But yeah, PhotoPills is what I have. I don't use it as much because I mainly know where the sun would come in and out through the locations that I shoot. But if I'm traveling, then I would use that. Hang on, let me put this one out of sleep. Was sleeping. Oh wow, East Coast. Jonathan, have a lovely day, my friend. It's only what is it? It's Friday. Oh, it's almost the weekend over there. We started already. All right, noted. I might do something. I might collaborate with some of the guys to do it as well. Awesome. Have a lovely day, buddy. What would you tell someone who wants to start from scratch? What would be your advice on steps? There are by now, a lot of tutorials out there. Not just for me. You've got Alex. You've got Shooting with Dave. You've got premium tutorials by, not tutorials even. They're classes by Pepper Yandel. You've got ones by. I mean, there's a lot of content out there. It's good to look at all of that, but you need to have a bit of hands-on. You need to understand the basics of car photography, all about lighting and stuff. My advice to you would be is go out, experiment, shoot. Don't jump into buying heavy, expensive equipment right away. Shoot with what you have. And yeah, keep going. Don't give up. Don't just shoot once and wait. And if you feel like your photos are not really nice, they're only gonna get better. And that's the rule of thumb there. Hi, Yuri. It's good to see you again. Jose. Yeah, that's you. Hi, Mo. Oh, what would be your advice on someone starting to take racing photos? I don't know. I'm not really experienced with race tracks and cars. I know that they use the 70-200 or even like higher focal length lenses to capture cars from a distance, get them to the right action shots. Also, they do a lot of this panning shots, so the car pass by and they pan and shoot the same way with that. Who has a tutorial of that? I've seen that somewhere. Look it up, panning shots for car photography. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of going out shooting drag races, for example, or you know, the cars that race on the track. Not my thing, but that's what I know about them. Thank you, Akshay. Is that Kumar? Thank you so much, buddy. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos and you're learning as well. That means a lot. You are amazing. If you're over for you 4 or 5 months. Sorry, I always narrate when I read. I just did. So like I said, I do have a video here somewhere. You know, something that you can guys start with. All of my videos, sometimes they are basic, but basic is good for those who are starting out. Like the tips, lens, and the last few videos on, you know, the location of the sun, the focal length over here. These matter because these are the important basics that many ignore. And they do transform your photos 180 degrees. Best settings for a rolling shot. I just pasted a link somewhere up. If you go, I do have a video on that over here. It's all about rolling shots. I went down to 1/30th of a second, and I use, I think, between f10 to f13 f-stop just to make sure to have everything in line. But some people can even get it with 100 of 1/60th of a second. I think between that and the 1/30th of the second is a good range. Yeah, let me see if that loaded up. Yeah, it did. Right. I don't think this is the final though. Let me. No. Show and Finder. Yeah, this is the file. I shot this with the A7R2, so it's a huge file. I'm gonna let it load. I'm gonna get back to it. I believe you've seen that. I have a tutorial on this. I don't have a tutorial on this yet. Very experimental. That'll load. Oh, there you go. Hey, you're welcome. Hello, India. Every evening, wow. You're lucky. You see, I don't get to shoot every day. I only shoot on weekends because that's when I'm mainly free. Let's open that one up. Definition tool. Always do selective. Um, if you're using Lightroom, and let's say we have this photo right here. Let's go to the develop. So depending from one camera to another, some photos will break. Some photos can have more details that can get sharpened. But let's say that you're sharpening here, and here you're introducing a lot of noise. Anyway, you shouldn't be doing this anyway. Um, I always look at the photo, but I know that somewhere between 30 and 60 is my sweet spot, depending, again, one photo to another. And then if you hold the option, you're being very selective. So things that are in white are going to get sharpened. And when it comes to cars, trust me, you don't want to sharpen the entire body of the car. You want that to be very smooth, very clean as well. The more details you add to it, the more noise and if it has any, let's say, spots or stuff on that will show up. So I would feather that out. So press Alt, using the mask out your photo or selection. So that's number one. When you add clarity, this is like 100%. You shouldn't do that. You can do basic clarity, but sometimes what I generally like to do is selectively add clarity. So I can pick a brush and I'll go to clarity here. Let's say 40, and then let's say I just want this area. There you go. This is, of course, just an example. Don't take my words for it. Not with this tutorial. But yeah, I would just, want to go over certain areas of the car. Not everything. Maybe the edges here, there. And that's about it. So you need to be very selective. I think they call it local adjustments, not global adjustments. Look at things that you want to sharpen or want to bring the clarity out. It's the best way instead of adding the effect into the entire car, which could ruin your shot. Yeah. This one is open. Let's open this as well while we're at it. This has been happening a lot lately. Maybe because I'm loading from a different database externally. Well, let's see. I'm loading things from my laptop. You're welcome. How do I get clients in the industry? I think I spoke about that a lot. Maybe I should do a video. Again, you need to have a good portfolio, something to start up with before going out to clients. You need to have also some really good work in there. Having just a portfolio without any good work wouldn't do justice or good. So have a portfolio somewhere. Not on Instagram. Instagram is a good discovery tool, but sometimes you want to show some higher quality, maybe on the web, or maybe through Behance, for example. I do have an account on Behance, which has really good resolution over there. Something that the clients or those who are you referring to your portfolio can look at. And of course, the more you get jobs from the industry, the more you get known in that. Start, turning heads. People start noticing you. And that's when you start getting more jobs. And it will take time, but it always works. Would you guys be interested in showing you, I don't know if I can pull this together in one video, Well, would you be interested in showing you how to, you know, register a domain, get the hosting, set up WordPress? It's gonna be a lot. It's going to be a lot of headache. I don't know if I can pull it off, even with 3. It should be like a class. All right. Here. Hi, Corbin. All right, let me see. You guys got 20 minutes. Ask away. Let me show you. This one is still loading. Wow. Yeah, I think I crashed my Photoshop. Or it's about to crash. No, it's about to crash. Let's wait for it. Come on. Don't die on me. Oh no. Alright, so we got a vote no. That's good to know. I wouldn't want to waste all of that time. But thanks. Thank you for your interest in my photo skills. I'll definitely be doing more of that. Especially that the weather is now getting better. Don't resolve. Yeah, so the weather is getting better. The humidity is going slightly, slowly. It's still 40 degrees sometimes out there, but we're getting there. Just about a month, and then I can start shooting again, or less. Oops. All right, so let's say that this is photo 1 and this is photo 2. Which one would you like me to walk you through? 1 or 2? Come on, come on. 1 or 2? Hey, no worries. That's why, you know, you need to, I'm loading it remotely. Okay, we got 1, 2, 1, 2. Guys, make up your minds. 2 is winning. 2 is winning. 2 is definitely winning. All right. How do you add fix on resemble the sunset sometimes? I do have a tutorial. 2, 1. No, it's not done with the flash. It's just with the sunlight. Do you have an example of a failed shot you rescued in LR? Yeah, I do have. I think I even posted a tutorial of failed shots. This one. So I have a tutorial on how I shot this and why I think I failed in it. So check it out. Saved in Photoshop, mainly. It was hilarious. I cried. But yeah, have a look at that tutorial. Where is that? Chat window. Photo 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. All right. So I guess we'll go with 2. If we have enough time, then we'll cover with 1. The one with the Audi shot was the yellow car was a rolling shot, not a rig. Like your videos, it would be interesting to see lessons about night shooting with consistent light or shooting using only flashes. Of course, I think I have a lot of flashes. I need to do a bit of constant lighting, like light painting soon. And wa alaikum salam. So great shots. How did you fake? How do you add fake? I don't know if I have it here. Faking the sun like this. You mean? You see this big thing over here, and then this These are all overlays. I think I spoke a lot about overlays before. Now I'll try and remember what I did in this edit. I use Shutterstock. I use Shutterstock to get my stock photos. Okay, so let's go. Let's do that. All right. First things first. I just don't like this. I don't know why I did that. Don't like this. You know, it's nice, but not always. I think it's just too much. All right. Let's start from the beginning. All right. So this is the photo that I had. This is what I had to work with. A lot of greenery around as well, and I wanted more attention to the car. Now the first thing I did, if you notice there at the bottom right, I added a dodge and burn layer. I don't know if I burned and dodged a lot, but you can see the difference. So this is the before and this is the after. I just wanted to emphasize these areas. You see that? Around here, there. So if I would put that from soft light to normal, not bad. Okay, not bad. So dodge and burn first, and I have a tutorial. I have maybe a lot of tutorials when about dodge and burn, but I do have an entire video just about dodge and burn. Look for it. This is I did that video when I first started the channel. Very interesting way of dodging and burning cars, because everyone is used to dodging and burning faces and other shots, fashion, and cars was kind of different. I thought of let me do dodge and burn a car and see how that rolls, and it always worked. So this is one. And that's where the sun is. There you go. This is the beginning of the sun. All right, so let's have a look at this. This is a layer that I've set the blending mode into screen. If I go normal, it's just black. So a black with a sun kind of thing. If you put that on screen, it removes the black and it just keeps the color. So whenever you have a black layer, you set that blending mode to screen, all the black and that layer would go away. We'll just keep the sun. All right, so I have another one, and you can see this is like the middle of the sun, right? So this is another overlay, and if I put that to normal, you would see that there is like a sun there. Put that to screen, and the black thing is gone. Then I added another layer, and you can see I added a mask. It was spilling over to the back of the car, so I removed it with a mask. And if I turn or flip that to normal in terms of blending mode, this is how it looks. Horrendous. Put that to a screen and you get something nice. So let me put these into a group, and these are before, after. So that's how I added the sun effects in this photo. Cool, we good? All right, moving onwards. I added a color lookup, very subtle. It looks like one of my LUTs, yeah, more warm. And I have, I think I just pasted a link to it. Did I? It's on my website. Or look it up on my YouTube as well. There's a link to the LUTs. Cool. So it's warmed up the photo. Now it's on 18%. If I put that onto 100%, like this, no, right? So 18%. Wanted like warmer photo. Then I added this, which is a the camera raw filter. Let me open up the camera raw and load it. It did load. So what did I do here? It looks like I did local adjustments. So I did add a graduated filter to darken the ground just a bit, not too much, not to the extent that's going to be completely like black. Um, just very subtle in this photo. And let's see, in terms of adjustment brushes, no, I didn't add a lot. It looks like this is the only thing that I added. Very odd. Thought I did more. Tone curve, no sharpening. Oh yeah, I did play around with the colors. So the hue of the colors, that's why it looked a bit different than the lights. So if you move the hue part, that's what I did. Saturation, saturated the red and increased the luminance on the red. So if you drop this down, it's going to be like decreasing the lightness of the red, if you may. I increased it. No split toning. Yeah, I just played with the hue here under the camera calibration. Just +3. And that's about it. I guess so. And then I created a shadow based on the original shadow. And then create another shadow. Now I'm not sure which shadow I used. Either this or that. I'm just gonna keep one of them. Which one did I use? To get the sunlight, the overlays. Tricky question. We'll get back to this. I'll paste the link to it. And then I applied a channel mixer here. 12% channel mixer. If you've been following me, it turns everything to black and white. It's a nice way to desaturate depending on the tones that you have in the photo. And here I used the blue filter, and then I adjusted the blue filter as well. So if you do, let's see, let me show you what I mean. So if I put this opacity at 100% and then play around with the blue filter, so you see the intensity, the details of the black and white changes. Now if you play around with the others as well, it's gonna change as well. So let's get back. That's on 12%. Then another camera filter, surprisingly. Yeah, I think I desaturated the ground. Let's open that up. Oh, I didn't know I did all of that. Could have done it onto one, but perhaps I was experimenting. And yeah, so I desaturated the photo bit. I think it was too saturated. That's it. I added hang on, wife is calling. Alright, wife is not calling anymore. Oh boy. I need to take this, it's very important. Anyway, highlights, I added hue and adjusted the saturation. Just at the highlight. Shwe chamre? Huh? Alright. Alright, this is not funny. Bye. Alright, my wife is pranking me right now. Okay. So blue. Yeah, that's about it. And I darkened the ground a bit and added a bit of desaturated as well. Decreased the exposure as well. So yeah, that's when it comes to the camera raw filter. And then I did another color lookup. I can't recall if I used this or not. I sometimes keep layers without deleting them, and then it's yeah, it gets messy. But I used one of the ones of the free packs that are available. Again, if you look at my LUTs video, we can download these for free from others. I can't recall. And yeah, another overlay, just right about here. This is how it looks at 100%. There you go. And yeah, that's mainly about it. I just intensified the color here. Just yellow. Add a bit of yellow. Let me put that 100%. that's it. And the curves, I just didn't like it. But yeah, I'm not liking it. But maybe, yeah, I don't know. Very subjective. Sultan, Bahraini accent. Oh yes, it is Bahraini. You heard that conversation. Yeah, I'm gonna kill my wife in a bit. Why not now? The sunlight. Okay. All right. The sunlight overlays. Yes, can be found here. Let me just pause this. All right. So, Inti deals, not affiliated with them. I don't get paid with that. This is something that I found online. I'm gonna maybe open a new one, just right here. So I know it says that the list price is 2,500, but I mean I think they mean that it's worth 2,500. It's always been 49 or less. But yeah, that's the one that I got. Let me paste the link down here. Is it possible to do this in Lightroom? You can get close, but not as close, really. Oops. With Lightroom, you don't have layers, and you can't put overlays technically. So it's very hard to achieve the same look with Lightroom. Lightroom is good to process your raw files, adjust things on the fly, and maybe sometimes even finalize and add some creative coloring or grading and sharpening. But with overlays and you require a program like Photoshop, in which you have to add it in layers. Take care, Yuri. You'll be seeing more of my photo skills. All right, so just a quick one. What's the time now? All right, 5 minutes. Maybe we can round things up. Again, I think someone asked about location and it's using a strobe, and this is like a combination of all. The place was really tight, so I was literally like, how would I put that? Like I was just like, closer to the wall, really close to the wall, and just didn't have the chance to move around. But if I would show you, it's all about masking, adding the right layers. I think I've explained that in 2 or 3 different videos that I have on my channel, and I did just exactly the same thing. Multiple exposures, masking out. I think that was the one with the Audi TTRS, which I think is about here. This one. This explains the entire process. I technically use the same process. No, not the image address. Copy the link address, and let's paste it. There you go. Hi Andrew, would you say if I create and imagine a Facebook group, we'll have weekly challenging, Ricardo, will you help rate them and choose? I can't promise you, really. I would love to. I was just talking to the guys and was telling them how tight my time is with, a full-time job is very hard to do that. But I would love to join and offer the advice every now and then, and even rate and choose the best one if I can. Can't promise though. Gradient map presets. I don't have, but I'm pretty sure I've downloaded a lot from, was it DeviantArt? I've done that previously. There are a lot of free ones out there that you can download. instantly. Damian Plesko, my man. Everyone, Damian Plesko, the guy who was on my hosted on my channel in the last video with the Bugatti. Was it the Chiron? This is how is it called? Say hello to Damian. Don't steal this. Don't steal my light right now, Damian. Just behave. So if you type in here, what is it? Gradient map, free download. Pretty sure you'll find a lot of it in here. It really depends on what you want to do with that. Plesko. Hi, Aito. Oh yeah, it's very hard to rate other people because it's very subjective. But people within the industry would give you a bit of rating and even an advice, or what is it called? It's called constructive criticism. Color combination. Oh yeah, that's like these are the theory of maybe not just photography. It's everything within the design. I mean, when I studied web design development, the color theory. Maybe I should leave that for some other time. Sometimes I do notice that people do this mistake when they apply a preset or a gradient meant for a warm photo on a cold photo, and it just ruins everything. But yeah, it's not one of my strengths, but I promise I'll look into one of the videos, create one of these, because there are like multiple ones. You've got the double ones, you got the tri, and then you got, what was it, the Cooler, Adobe Cooler. Cooler, yeah. Now it's called Color Wheel. And these are how the relations. The good thing about this, you can import a photo and get exactly the color theme. So each of these, they complement these colors that complement each other, that you can use, maybe even use as a gradient map. Head to this and try it out, guys. Let me just paste it down here. Hi. What are you about? Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Hey, anytime, buddy. Anytime, Andrej. No, not the color wheel. When you start making your own gradient map, you can choose colors. What do you talk about? How much has saturation and brightness? I mean, I don't. That's the thing, is I don't use gradient map, and it's very occasional that I use gradient maps. I sometimes just select tones within the photo, and then just play with the range and see what it works. Very subjective. I look at it through the eyes. Nothing really scientific. But I'll definitely keep that for some other time when I'm really ready to answer that properly. Where do I find customers? Again, I think I've answered that like 3 times. Build your portfolio, number 1. Shoot cars, get known in the field, get some really good photos out there. People would notice. One project that will lead to another project, that will lead to another project in some other company, some other dealer or brand. Yeah. So that's was like the short answer. If you play back the video, you'll see that I've answered something similar to this, kind All right. Yeah, sometimes I do. I use LUTs more than gradient maps, honestly. All of my grading comes from gradient maps. Sorry, LUTs. Let me show you a tool that I use. Just to be fair, I also use this, and I do have a video on this, the infinite color panel. This is very useful because you don't really have to think of the gradient map. It will do it for you. So I'm just turning it all of these off, and then whether you want light, medium, or intense, you select the intensity of the grade and then create, and you can see that it started creating here a gradient map, and then it will shuffle through the different gradients or gradient maps. And sometimes if you see something that fits, you would use it, right? Let me show you another example with color balance and selective color. So you can see there on the right, it created 2 adjustments, and if I keep on shuffling, I might find something that I like this, for example. That's something that I might use, and you can lower the opacity of the entire grade, or you can do it on each layer. No, that wouldn't work. So this is like one way of doing it. I haven't been using this recently a lot, but I find it useful sometimes. Some let's say that you like this, and but you want to adjust it, you can always go to the individual layer and then adjust things accordingly, just the way you feel fit. Oh, come on, LUTs are easy to use. I do have a tutorial. Check it out about LUTs. Trust me, it's easy once you get used to it. I do get hired by some. I think I worked with Nissan, Audi, Porsche. And recently, Jaguar with Bahrain International Circuit. I think it's expensive. I can't recall. Is it expensive? It's like 99 or something. Infinite color. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of similar ones. This is my tutorial down there. 129. Yeah, I think. Yeah, there is a VIP still sale. It's $99, so it's $100. So if you go to this video down here, where is it? This one. And this is my tutorial on how I used the infinite color panel. Where is it? Sure, yeah. Let me paste that. There you go. So there you go. Do you give us a link for this? Yeah, this is the link. Do you recommend editing in Lightroom and then export it to Photoshop where you use LUTs? Yeah. I mean, my editing mainly, again, Lightroom is the first, let's say, touch point of the photo where I do the basic raw processing. Then I take it to Photoshop, which I do the entire edit, and then bring it back into Lightroom to either finalize or just catalog things. But what do you think? What do you mean by fade, Diane? Is it a plugin for Photoshop or something? Yeah, I was just telling the can't recall who, but at the beginning of the video, you guys wanted me to do kind of criticism, um, tell you what I think, maybe I'm going to create a different session, but not right now because it's going to take a lot of time. And this is just a basic Q&A. One time I'll do that video, whether I'll ask you guys to submit your photos or a photo for me to criticize, and just tell you what I think about it. All right, NTV, thanks for watching. I'm glad you've enjoyed the video, and I'm about to leave as well. So let me see, it's 7:10. Yep, time is up. Andrew, you're luring me in. I mean, there are a lot of good photographers out there. I think one of the first photographers that inspired me was Jeremy Cliff, really. Got Jeremy Cliff, GF Williams, Shiraki Photo, and even the new photographers, Jimmy Zhang, the guys, the peeps. Got Damian Plesko, who's a god, Richard Pardon, 85, ET, Dominic, my man. There are a lot of good photographers out there. I almost follow all of them. Philip, can't spell his name. Philip Richard, or Rickert, I'm not quite sure, sorry if I'm misspelling the name. But yeah, there are a lot of good photographers out there. It started, how it started, I always loved cars. Ever since I was a kid, I just loved the shape of cars. Back in the 80s. And yeah, I just think I found something that I love with a hobby that I can combine with, right? So I always wanted to learn photography, but I didn't find any photography that interested me. So I kind of combined these two, and that's where it actually started. Yeah, I never thought I would go that deep into car photography, but now I'm really like involved. Damien, where is Damien? Why is he so quiet? I was just kidding about not hijacking the session. Talk, my man. Talk. Alright, back to Photoshop. There you go. That's my Photoshop there. Help yourself. Bring it on. I don't see Damien here either. Damien Plesko. Report. Oh. There's the chat window. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait. Let me just clarify one thing, Andrew. Yeah, no. By the way, car photography is not my full-time job. I wish it was, but it wasn't. It's a hobby. It's still a hobby, although I sometimes do make money out of it. I do have a desk job, 9 to 5. Interesting, but not as interesting as car photography. I am a marketer. That's what I do. Yeah, I got ya. Anyway, peeps. All right. Thank you all who have joined and watched this live session. I think moving onwards was what I'm going to do is keep it more structured by showing you maybe something that is very specific. But yeah, that's gonna keep it for Joe Satriani. Yes, my man, that's Joe Satriani. That was painted by my cousin, by the way. It's one of my favorite shots. And I got my mini cars as well. So that's the Ford LMS L2 Special Edition. I love your photos. Don't know if we talked already, but what lenses? Okay, I'm going to answer you, David. I use 24-105, which is always on my camera. So this lens is always attached to this camera. This is the one lens that if I have to travel with, it's going to be this one. I do have the 70-200 f2.8. I do have the 16-35, which is a wired lens whenever needed. But yeah, 24-105 can never fail you. Oh, sorry about that. Do you have any questions? I might answer them before I leave. I know you've just joined in. I just don't want you to be sad. Don't give me that face. You're crying right now. You're gonna make me cry too. But yeah, you must be a Joe Satriani fan. Is there a way I can let you check one of my photos? YouTube doesn't let me put a link. Yeah, on Instagram. Just try. The problem is I receive a lot of messages, but do put it there. If I didn't get back to you, I'll make sure I'll do. Get back to you. Sometimes I just get busy. I don't read it, so I don't. Well, when I don't read it, that means I want to go back to it. If I read it, it'll be marked as read, and then I'll never see it. Oh, thank you so much. I don't think we have a market for it, and mainly the dealers or the companies here, they use ready-made photos that comes from the mother company. Although I think localizing the content would be something awesome, but again, they use Photoshop. They use photo manipulation that it really sucks. And if you see the things on the road they put on the road, it's a disaster. But yeah, that's changing right now. I live in a very small country. Yeah. So the polarizing filter or the polarizing filter I use is the B+W, B&W. This is my polarizer. I've used it. This is the only brand I've used. I'm not sure how good it is in comparison to other brands, but I'm really happy with it. I'm not gonna change it anytime soon. I'm gonna stick with it until they develop something that's far way more advanced. All right, you're welcome. Not much, to be honest. I only get the weekends to shoot. Not every weekend as well. So my free time is the weekend, and I try to shoot cars, but not always. Not recently, to be honest, because it's very humid and hot out there. The minute you go out, you sweat. The heat catches up with you, and you shoot yourself in the head. But the weather is getting better. This is a good sign. Towards October, November, it's gonna get better. But I only shoot on weekends. Maybe, one of the weekends, so I can edit in the other. And sometimes, when I'm on leave, take my time, holiday, off time, I would just go out and shoot cars. Finding a good place to shoot cars. I mean, this is very interesting, challenging. I think I've answered that in my previous live session. I always try to find something with a pattern that is not very distracting in the background. Sometimes it's just like a simple coffee shop place, which is of course not very packed. Taking this example because this is the recent shoot with a Porsche. Know I'm supposed to go, but let me quickly turn this around. Porsche, yeah, that's the one. El Chapo, what is that? No, it's not El Chapo, is it? Okay, so I think I told you the story of this. So while shooting this car, this is one good location. I don't know. I just look at a location and I would say, okay, this like works. Just comes by nature right now. But while shooting this car, I was chased by stray dogs. It was very hard just to shoot. So every time I would come down, there were like 3-4 stray dogs coming. They come and bark at me. This is another one. Something with the pattern, not very. Got a pattern here. Then you got nice grass. It's growing a tree, I know, but it still looks good. There you go. That's one of the stray dogs, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you one of the stray dogs. They barked at me. This is the final look. So I was able to remove the car, a few other elements. Change that as well. There are a few cables up there, but they weren't really bothering me. So yeah, something with the pattern, continuous. Even sometimes if it's 2-3 different buildings or maybe an open, sometimes you just want an open space or area. If you're living in Europe, closer to the Alps, that's a nice location. If it's in the desert, that's a nice location as well. It really depends from one car to another. The color of the car as well plays a big role in this. This is like a very simple location. This is a car park, and I had the hill at the back. Change the angle of the camera, and then you get this. And this is the final photo. So don't stretch yourself with location a lot. Sometimes it's just the composition and how you put things in perspective. Watch this video as well. You would see the location, how it looked like. I think I do have. Yeah, I think it was too windy for me to explain, but I did do a voiceover explaining how I shot this car. It's available on my channel, so if you head to MoeDay, you'd see it just right there. There. This tip will take your car photo next. What? Was it this? I think so. I think it's this. Yeah, I think this is how I shot it, but not really how I post-process it. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Oh, 3 months ago. That's fresh. How's it going for you? You're welcome. Thank you, Dion. Appreciate it, buddy. You're welcome, Sajay. All right, guys. Now I do really have to go. It was again a pleasure talking and interacting with you guys. Do let me know if you need me to cover anything in my next live sessions. I'd like to have some topics that I can formulate in my head and yeah, try and dispense good knowledge that can benefit all of you. All right, so up until the next video, I'll see you then. Take care. See you guys. I'm using OBS, by the way. Ciao, buddy. Have a look at your Insta as well. And